You know what I was thinking about in the story time? My mom went through a lot. She was born in 1928, and my grandma, she died of asthma. So she was always kind of sickly. But my mom, she had a little mouth on her, a little small, but not too much. She was really a gentle soul. And she told me one time, she said it was a hard day. My grandma had a baby, and I think the baby could have been a few days old because they did things different back then. You know, babies was born in houses and stuff like that. And my mother uh, had a brother who should have been about 8 years younger than her, and the baby died. And my mom, I think that's what made her gentle soul because she had so much on her, and she was the youngest of five kids, which should have been six, but that baby died. Anyway, she told me, she said, Grandma, which we call Nanny, she was sick. She was very sick with asthma. And she was sitting in the bed, and she told my mother, who was about 8 years old at the time, and they always called my mother sister. I don't know why. What's behind that nickname, sister? But she said, Sister, I need you to help me. So my mother said, Well, Mom, what do you want me to do? And she said the little baby was laying in the little crib, cradle, whatever, but the baby already had passed away. And she said my grandma was sitting on the side of the bed. She had asthma so bad. And my grandma said, Just dress him for me. And my mother said she put the little sweater on and the little, I guess, booties and whatever else he had to have on. And she said, even as an older woman, she remembered putting the hat on the child and I guess tying it up under the neckline. And she told me one day, like, because we had a lot of conversations, she said, Phil, I never forget helping my mom dress that baby, and that baby was gone. I said, Ma, was you scared? She said, No, I wasn't. She said, I realized even at 8 years old that my mother had lost something. And she said, I felt so bad. Hmm, I don't know. I don't know how she did it. But you do what you can when you do it. Matter of fact, let me tell you a quick story to add on to that. I wasn't thinking of that before when I got on here. When I got sick, my children, my daughter, she was only 2 months old, and I had a son that was 8 years old. Let me tell you something. He had to help cook, clean up, take care of her, change her diaper, because at that time I had chest pain so bad I really couldn't move around. I don't come on here to discuss illnesses, but if anybody ever suffered with asthma or sarcoidosis, then you know what that's all about. And that's when I was first diagnosed. So when people tell me, they say, oh my goodness, I don't want to gain any weight. I've been on steroids for a month now. I was on steroids for 3 years. I went from 160 pounds to 260 pounds on steroids because they was trying something new to save my life. Let me tell you something. In this Christian arena, you could still enjoy your life. In this Christian arena, God will still hold on to you. Because at 29 years old, I sat down and I wrote my obituary. And I said, hey, God, I really want to live and take care of my kids. But I said, in case I go, I left names on papers for where my kids were to go. I had a husband, still got a husband, but you know, a man is a man and kids needs a woman's touch. So I sat down and I wrote that down. But let me tell you something. Glory to be to God. Mm-hmm. He done took me from 29 years old to 64. So look at God. And when I say that, I mean look at God. All glory every day. Whether I feel good or not, whether I got a tear in my eye or not, I'm going to give God the glory because He deserves it. I could have been going. And I remember asking God, Lord, don't let me die like this. I wanted to raise my kids. And somehow time passed. And that same little boy that was 8 years old cooking and helping me out, he's 43. And that same little girl that was 3 months old, she's 35. If you don't know nothing else in your whole life, nothing, no light bulbs, no clicking on nothing come on, know that God is real. And no matter what situation you are in, because God, He owns it all. So no matter what situation you in, do me a favor. Matter of fact, do yourself a favor and trust in God. I'll talk to you later because I'm talking way too much today. But you trust in God and see what God will do for you. Bye for now, and I'll talk with you soon. How about that?